So now that you learned how to set up your yes and no questions, now your next step is to make sure the answers are right for you. You're going to do simple questions, and then you're going to get an answer, a yes or no, from your pendulum, so you know it's working properly. So when you've got your yes and no set up, you already know how to hold your pendulum. You already know on your chart your yes and no commands. So for me now, I know what the charts look like in my head, so I can visually see them in my head. Okay, so because I don't have my chart with me, it's gonna go counterclockwise for no, and clockwise for yes. Okay, when I don't have it with me, the chart goes it goes one way for a no, and then up and down for a yes, like a sideways for no, up and down for a yes when I have my chart for other things that I do. And that gets further explained on that chart, is more working with the full chart. That's going to be more in it down the road in an advanced pendulum. But this is basically for you just to learn and how to use it, and in a simple way, before we adding on more things to make the chart a little bit more complicated. All right. We're going to work our way into the advanced course eventually. But for now, what we're going to do is, so I'm going to ask if I'm a male. You know, my gender is a male. So it's going counterclockwise. This is my amethyst pendulum that I'm using today. And it's giving me a strong no, and thank God it's a no. Well, it's probably not thank God. It's just, I'd be very worried if I didn't know I was a girl. Okay, I'm just using my sense of humor. So then I'm going to ask it to come to a complete stop. So, was I born in Canada? So we have a strong yes. Okay. So you want to make your answers simple, okay, and direct. They do not have to be these long, complicated questions. And also, when you start kind of asking a question within a question, so it's like, so when I win the lotto, I'm going to have a brand new house, right? Well, you're asking two things at the same time. The pendulum's going to struggle with that. You want to make them one at a time, simple, direct. And again, it's really important that you stay neutral in your question, because again, if you really, really want it to tell you a yes, you can influence it. Okay. So you got to be okay if it's a yes or a no. Okay. So I'm going to ask another question. Am I going to go on a holiday this year? And it's giving me a yes. Now I know I'm going on a holiday because I am. I'm going on a short one here. So come to a stop. So then I'm just going to kind of ask a future question. So in the future, am I going to go to Europe? Oh man, I'm not going to Europe. Okay, but I can get a little more specific than that. Okay. In the future, will there be a possibility that I will go to Ireland? Okay, now the future's not written in stone. So I'm not going to, it's still telling me I'm not going to Ireland. And I really want to go to Ireland. So it's not written in stone too. Okay, so even though it's saying right now in the future, because there's no time in the future. So it's called our free will, an opportunity where I might just down the road say, you know, bugger off, I'm going to go to Europe. I don't care. And I'm going to go. Okay, right now in the future, in the moment, I am not going to Ireland. But who knows in 5 years? Who knows in a year? Who knows in 20 years? So that's the other thing. Now, what happens when I ask a question too? If it doesn't move, or if it goes like this, for me, back and forth, in the sense it doesn't have the answer. So because it's something that's possibly in the future, or I have not made a decision on. Okay, so, and I've had that where it won't give me the answer. And it's just because it hasn't been put in play yet. Okay. And that could be right now, too, going to Ireland. It's not put in play yet. The stars are not aligned. Something has to come through to activate for me to go to it, even though it's still telling me a no. But I have to be okay with that right now because I'm actually kind of sad that it's not telling me I'm going to Ireland, in the future. But that's okay, because it is what it is. So I'm just going to let it go, and we'll see. And I'll check in maybe 6 months to a year and see if it tells me I'm going to go. Okay. So that's how you want to work with it. It's very simple questions and precise, and be very clear what you want it to tell, the question. You want to have a clarity to it and what you're seeking the pendulum to give you that yes or no. Okay. So that's how you want to first start, just so that your yes or no's are right. Okay. So that is what you're going to do. So have fun with your pendulum and see where the journey is going to take you with your pendulum.